Hi everyone, it's Arthur from Zebra Home Cinema. Hope you're all keeping safe and well. Excuse the lines on my face, just been wearing my face mask whilst working indoors. A bit of an interesting project. It's a family lounge where the main central focus of attention is quite a large fireplace, a brick-built fireplace. And what we're going to be planning is having the projector screen come down in the inset with the projector located in the adjacent office. And let me just show you through and show you what Kane's been up to. Follow me.
This project is it's a projector screen 5.2 MK speaker system. So we're in the office at the moment and we're putting a hole through the wall. Projector's going to be mounted up here on a base. A base is going to fit in here. Projector's going to live here. I'm just taking through the hole. Already hit our first problem. Got some ring main here, so I've got to deal with this. The equipment is going down the bottom in the rack, in the drawers down here. So I've got to work out whether I'm going to actually fit some 19-inch rack mounts in there yet. Whether they're going to fit onto the drawers. But the equipment's going in here, projector's here, and then the screen is next door with the speakers. All good. First day back. So this is half a hole.
Yes.
I'm not built the other half. Well, we have a quarter of a hole because there's power cables behind it, which will be gone tomorrow, so I can open it.
Fantastic.
But I've got to just take it a little bit lower now because obviously I'm projecting down. So
Before we started this, there's quite a large piece of wall art here, pretty much where you're standing.
yes,
And so just explain what we're doing with that.
it's going to go back.
Okay.
So this is when that's opened up. We're halfway through opening up. The hole for the projector light to fire through. The picture covers this area. It's going to be motorised, so when we turn the system on, the picture will slide over to expose the hole for the projector for the system to work.
Perfect.
When we're finished, we turn the system off, the picture will slide back.
Cool.
And the screen will go up.
Okay, excellent. And that's where the screen's going to go, just underneath the mantle. Kane, what on earth have you been up to today?
Challenges. So one of the lovely things about a retrofit is the front speakers are going into this wooden mantle piece that we've discovered is plaster. So a little bit of change round. I'm now cutting out the larger hole. We're going to line it with ply and mount the speakers into here. Projection screen is ready, cut out. Cable's going to go through first, then the projection screen is going to go in. The projector in the office is now mounted on its frame, not boxed in yet. We need to do some measurements on temperature. And the projector, I've already had the projector on. Got to do a measured up for a frame to go on there. We're going to put ply frame on and line that. Ready for the motorised picture, which is going to go in front of it. And yeah, just at this joy of speakers where we've discovered it's plasterboard, not wood. And right behind it is another plasterboard mantelpiece.
This is an example of the in-wall M&K in-wall 85 speaker. So we're going to put that into a ply frame.
Yes.
Which will then sit in there.
So I'm going to mount the ply frame into here first. So that in there, I'm going to put the mat that fit the ply frame, which will be exactly the same size as that, and that'll be mounted on first onto there. So that'll be rigid, solid onto the back of there, and then with a cutout for the speaker to mount in. So it won't be part of this. So it won't be actually attached. Sorry, it won't be mounted to this plasterboard.
Yeah, and obviously that will reduce the vibrations surrounding.
Yeah, this won't hold. Well, it probably will hold, but it's not designed to.
Yeah, but we just
hold
don't want that to rattle.
heavy speakers. Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
So another thing we're doing here. So this is where the actual looks and aesthetics sort of matter more. Client wants to keep the sort of the design of this mantelpiece as much as possible. So we're keeping this one, so the second one, and then the fifth one we're keeping. The left speaker is going on the last one, the right speaker here. We're having two centres. purely for no system performance benefit other than it works for the aesthetics of the room. So there's actually 2 sensors going in here. So the projectors, so I've put a permanent shelf up there now for the projectors to live on.
Yeah.
It's questionable chatting to the client whether we're going to box this in, because he's told me this room gets very hot. Obviously the heat rises, hot out at the top. I don't want the projector to overheat. So at the moment I'm leaving it open. So we just basically fixed the shelf in here and just edged it. This is temporary cable just to get the alignment right. Cables coming in from over the room next door, coming down here. We're going to finish this off with some wood. And that currently goes into where the equipment's going to live. The intention is we're going to actually put sides on this so we don't see the projector disappears. But first we're going to measure the temperatures in the room and temperature, make sure the projector doesn't overheat.
Right, so the challenge was to get the speakers into the mantle, and have a look at this.
So this is custom install at its best. So this is a presumed wood mantle that actually sounds like a wood mantle, but it's like a boxed wood mantle, granted, but it's not. It's all plaster. So I've had to cut out and dig out a hole and then reinforce timber behind and then mount plates on for the speakers to fit on. They are rock solid, so not going anywhere, but obviously visually not the best. So now we're going to have some custom grills just measured up now, having made custom grills to cover all of this. We're still going to go and fill all this and paint this brown, but that won't be on show now. It'll be behind custom grills. So 2 sensors, left and right. You can't see I'm smiling under the mask because it's been great fun. But they're in. So good news. So they're in, wired up, and not far off getting them powered up.
Right, so initially we had these surround speakers in each corner. So we've taken these off and we've replaced them for miller&kreisel M40T tripod speakers. And what you'll notice is that we've got the tweeter at ear level with the driver above that. And not only does the sound emit from the drivers directly to the ear level, but they also come out the sides of the speakers, and they use the walls to rebound, so you get an enveloping surround sound effect. So when choosing a pair of subwoofers for this room, just to match the cream decor of the walls, our client wanted something that wasn't as obstructive as traditional black large box subwoofers. So I'll show you what we've got here. Miller&kreisel V10 subwoofer. This is a 10-inch driver, and this thing's pretty solid, and it weighs quite a bit. So they're fairly discreet, fairly small. So on day 4, there's been some progress. Today we're doing quite a bit of decorating and finishing touches, particularly with a bit of attention to the mantle. So we're going to go over to Dave and see what he's doing. So hi Dave.
Oh yeah.
Just explain to the audience what you've been up to and what you're doing to the mantle. I can see first of all that you've primed and painted this almost back to the original colour.
Yes, because we've Kane's cut the recesses in for the speakers, and you can see obviously we've got to make good again once the speaker system's in. And to be totally thorough, rather than just colouring in around here and hoping that you're matching with the rest of the original colour scheme, we've decided to completely colour the whole beam and then over paint it then with a very similar colour, but we're going to match the ceiling up so it all ties in.
So basically, the 2 sliders are in. That's going to slide the picture to the left. This is the picture that's going on there. This board's been replaced with a slightly larger board. This is just a trial board just to get the unit working. There's a 250mm little drive piston going here that's going to mount to the wall, and it's going to basically drive the piston, drive the board that's on there this way, and then pull the board back. The picture is going to be mounted to the board. Because of a few challenges, because of where we've had to put the projector through the wall to get the centre line for the fireplace, this back wall isn't centre because of the door, so it's slightly offset because of another wall behind here. There's lots of complications, which meant that we were constrained by that access through the ceiling, through the wall, picture has had to go central to cover the edge of it, which means today we've had to move the light. So these are the challenges of installations. We've had to move the light across by 300mm in order to get the balance right between the space, basically, just so it's equal between the two lights in the picture when the picture's in a closed position. So these are drawer runners that you put in your kitchen drawers.
Now that's genius.
So they just so you'll see that this is the soft close as well. So if you watch, soft close.
There we go, multiple applications.
Yeah, we just need something which is slimline, so the picture can get close to the wall and smooth, really. So and then the motor which is in here is going to mount on there and just drive it. Just 250mm. All we need. So in that closed position there, the picture sits here, and then it's going to drive 250mm to the side, which will take the picture to there, so the projector can project.
Just going to the study where the AV equipment is kept.
So this is where the projector's mounted up here, and this is the wall that was in the way, so we had to come off the centre. This is going to be boxed in. At the moment I've not boxed it in because I want to see what temperatures are like in here, but at least we're going to box it in so the air can escape from the top, so the projector's hidden. All the cabling comes from next door, comes down here. This is going to be finished off with some trim, comes underneath, and the equipment's living here. So what we've got is cable dressing not quite finished, so I've got a little bit to do. Got a Control 4 EA1 as the main room controller. There's an Apple 4K. There's a Philips Hue control box there for the lighting. There's an Xbox One, a Sony Blu-ray player, and a Yamaha A880 amplifier. I'll just take this out a second. So basically I've got a little bit of cable dressing to do with the network cables and the HDMIs, but you can see the whole idea of this is we put this bottom bit on so we can get the rear of the amplifier, the DVD player and the Xbox. There we go.
Brilliant. Hi everyone, it's Atif from Zebra Home Cinema, day 5 in our project. We've still got lines to go in, but just to show you what we've done, in this section here, if you remember, there's a piece of wall art which is now able to move, and that's going to be automated using a motorized piston, and you've got the projector light being emitted from the aperture in the wall. And here we have the drop-down motorized screen. If you remember, this is a traditional Inglenook Fireplace, and here we've got a fabulous image. Obviously during daylight it's going to be a little bit washed out, but once we've got the electric blinds installed, that will improve daytime image, and at night this will look fabulous. Hi everyone, it's Arthur from Zebra Home Cinema. Today we've done the audio-video calibration and come across some quite unusual discrepancies in terms of the calculations for the audio using the proprietary software. But thankfully we came up with a solution. So sometimes this happens. I'm going to pass you over to Kane to explain exactly how we overcame the issue. So we've run the audio calibration using the Yamaha proprietary software, and what issue have we had today?
Yeah, so the processor, the amplifier is the RX 880 Yamaha. When we ran their software for configuration, the first thing that was noticeable straight away on the results were the speaker distances. So we've got a left, centre and right. Showed the left at 3.5 metres away, which is about right because that's what I manually measured. Right about 3.8, but it showed the centre at 5.5 metres. It also showed the subwoofers calculating them at 6.7 metres away, which I put them out in the garden. And the rears, one of them at 2.7 metres and the other one at 5 metres. So it really struggled to work out the location of the speakers based on the microphone pickup. Now, possibly we've got fully tiled floor in here. We've got some hard furniture, we've got a glass table. Whether it was because of the reflection on the hard surfaces or something else in the room, not sure. Didn't like it, so it wouldn't calibrate correctly. So what I did in the end is we flipped to the manual configuration. So measuring all speakers, input and dimensions, and then measuring the sound levels for each speaker, setting the sound levels, but then adjusting to suit the client's sort of taste as well. So we've lifted the subs just a little bit. Sounds great now, but it just shows that sometimes the auto calibration just throws out some anomalies, and it's good to actually not just trust what the amp says within its software and do a bit of configuration yourself. So that's been done successfully. You filming?
Now I'm filming.
Okay. Yeah, so this is just an example of why it's important to get a quality screen for projectors. So you'll hear people talk about, I can just project onto my wall. Of course you can, it's absolutely fine. But you're not going to get the most out of your projector. And when I say most out of it, it's to do with how you manage the light and how you deal with the light and the colours being projected from the projector. So what manufacturers do, such as Projector, which is this screen, is when they print the screen, they don't just paint it with a white projector paint. It's actually printed to manage the light reflection and kind of aim it back towards the viewers in the centre of the room. So what they're trying to do is effectively capture as much light that's coming from the projector and reflect as much light back. So not absorb huge amounts or not lose it around the room. Now this room is kind of challenging because we've got tiled floors, so there is a bit of reflection. But the screen is basically doing as much as it can to help the image. That's probably the best way to describe it. So yeah, you can paint a wall, but you're not going to get the performance that you can get from a proper quality screen like this.